My rose garden turns into a rose park. Oh my goodness, it's raining outside. Hello happy YouTubers, Marcelina here. In this video, we're going to give you our 5 gardening tips to help you get your roses bloom like crazy, like these roses here. So hold on to your trousers, be right back. There are 5 gardening tips for you to follow to get your roses increase its bloom all summer long. Like my rose here, this is Juliet Child and it's blooming like crazy. So what did we do to get our roses bloom like this? Stick with us until the end because we are going to give you extra bonus. Alright, let's talk about the 5 gardening tips for growing roses. Tip number 1, you will need to get a healthy, disease-resistant rose stock, preferably roses that are grown on root. When I said roses grown on root, meaning the rose is propagated by stem cuttings or by air layering. And these are roses ideal to grow in the garden and also in the container because they are stronger, they can withstand extreme temperature, and every year they will give you a lot of new growth. So I'm going to show you the rose that I propagated by air layering. So let's go in the other side. Welcome to my little rose farm. Oh my gosh, look at these roses. Look at this Johann Strauss. You don't see this rose anywhere, but you can find it here in my garden. This is propagated by air layering from the mother plant. As you can see, look at this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. So I am going to show you guys how you can get your roses bloom like crazy all summer long. Now let's talk about the difference between growing on root or growing from grafted roses. Now you probably buy roses from the nursery because mostly nursery and big store they sell these grafted roses and they are just beautiful. That's why we are deceived for their own beauty. Then after that, when you plant them in the garden, 1 year maybe they're great, 2 years maybe so, and then 3 to 5 years. So that is why it is best to grow the rose that is on root. Now I'm going to give you an extra bonus on how can you preserve the beautiful rose so you can enjoy the long life of your roses. So most of these roses are propagated by air layering and stem cuttings. And look at this awesome pink. Oh my goodness, look at that, look at that. So I will show you what you can do to increase your roses bloom all summer long. All right, let's start this rose here. This is also Johann Strauss. Now, to get your roses increase its bloom all summer long, you need to increase a new shoot. Now, in the last fall, you need to prepare your roses, give a lot of protection. So what I did here, I filed dirt or soil all the way to the top, like 6 inches to the top. And after that, I give another extra layer of wood chip. This is going to protect the rose against cold temperature. Now, in the early spring, like when the weather starts to get warmer, like in the first week of summer, you are going to remove the wood chip because you don't want to increase moisture in the base of the plant. Removing those wood chip, like what you see here, I took the wood chip and then I rake few soil, but I leave some of the soil at the base to give that increasing new shoot, as you can see here. Now I will show you the other one. This is my pink rose. Oh my goodness, look at the rose, oh, so beautiful. This is also voluntuous. And as you can see here at the base of the plant, there is a new shoot. Here's another new shoot. Look at that. It is forming bud. This is going to bloom later on this summer. And this is the reason why you will need to pile a lot of dirt at the base of the plant 8 inches from below up to here, so that in the spring they will give you a lot of new growth. So the more growth your roses have, the better the chance to increase more blooms. So these are all my roses here, and this is my beauty. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It is kissable. I love this rose. This is only one rose, cherry parfait that I have here. So what I will do, I will increase the production of this rose because it's just beautiful. Look at that. It has a unique color, pink, yellow, and white. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. All right, let's talk about the second tip for growing roses: location. Now, location is very important when you grow roses, because if you grow roses in the dark or in the area where the environment is not perfect for the rose, your roses don't bloom. All right. So keep that in mind. Location, location, location. So this rose here has a good environment because it is exposed to the sun. Roses require at least 8 hours of daylight or direct sunlight to make them bloom, because the hormones of the rose, which is the florigen, and this florigen is a physiological hormones present mostly on the leaves and also in the bud here. And once it's triggered, it only triggered, this type of hormones can be triggered to either produce flower or deter bloom. So the only way to trigger this hormone is by sunlight. So there is something to do with the sunlight. Give your roses at least 8 hours of direct sunlight. Now, tip number 2. Oh, number 3, I mean. Sorry, folks. I'm just being pumped here. Tip number 3, watering. All right, so watering, I have mentioned this long time ago in my video that overwatering and underwatering produce the same result. Why? Because too much water, what will happen? Your roses will die because it will rot the root. Now, underwatering, what will happen? The same way, they will die, they don't produce flower, and then you end up of all dead rose. And you want those roses to bloom so that all of your friends and families, including you, will say, oh my goodness, I have a nice rose in here. Oh, I got to go to her garden because you have a beautiful rose. So roses require 8 hours of sunlight, and watering, it requires a lot of watering, especially summer month. If it is too hot, you need to increase your watering 3 times daily if you can. Water in the morning, water in the early evening, and also in the late night if you wanna get out in the garden at late night. Now, what I did here in my garden, I installed a sip irrigated planter like what you see here, and this is the method, guys, that is awesome. You cannot just use it in growing roses. You can do it if you grow vegetables. You can grow a lot of vegetables using the sip or sub-irrigated planter. Now, as you can see here, so that is tip number 3 if you want to increase your blooms of your roses. See this tube here? This is the area where you fill the water. Fill in the water, that hole in here, and you don't need to water all the time. So that is a good thing because it frees you from watering daily of your roses. So I don't water my roses for a month because I fill this tube once and then that's it. And the roses can take up water at all time. Now, do you know that water is life? Water is for every living things. If you don't have water, what will happen to you? You don't grow, probably you dehydrated and have so many complications. The same thing as the plants. So treat your plants like yourself. Treat your plants like human being. So give them a requirements they need, then they will thrive. They will give you a lot of joy because they will give you a lot of blooms. So that is also part of the blooming stages of your roses, by giving them a good amount of water. They don't like to get their feet wet, so if you give them amount of water that they need, as long that there is a good drainage, then they will be happy and they will give you a lot of blooms like what you see here. Look at that, look at this strauss. It's a lot of new forming buds. So right here, and I give a lot of improvement in this area here, and my fence is almost collapsing. So what we did, we installed this raised bed, and it gives value to my plant, and also it gives purpose because it makes my fence sturdy. And as you can see here, so at the back, you see that at the back, we installed this irrigation system, and this is automated. We automate the time, you know, how often we deliver water to the rose, and it is an awesome type of gardening. So I can go for a vacation without worrying my roses because they are all given an automate watering system. And as you can see, look at this Juliet child, guys. Look at that, look at the beauty. Oh my gosh, this is my Pascali. Whoo, look at my Pascali, so beautiful. All right, tip number 4, pruning or dead heading. So when are you going to prune your roses? Well, you need to prune in the spring, prune in middle summer by dead heading, light dead heading, and also prune in the fall. And I would recommend you guys to prune heavily in the spring. Take all those damaged stem, and if you can cut them lower, so you want them to stimulate the plant and produce new shoot. And as you can see here, this is my bruners, and it is blooming like crazy. So pruning or dead heading are essential to all plants, not just roses. And you know why? Because if you prune or you dead head your roses, they will increase its bloom. So you have a repeat bloom of your roses. Now I'm going to show you how to dead head your roses, because I already pruned this rose in the spring and it doesn't need another pruning. Probably in the fall I will do another prune. Dead heading, because dead heading is important once the rose is done. So once your flower is done blooming, or it's done, it's over, like what you see here, this is close to done its bloom, you're going to do a little bit of cosmetics. You will do the dead head. So when you do the dead heading, this is what you will do. Okay, when you dead head your rose, don't dead head in the here. You need to allow 2 sets of leaves like this one here. And then sometimes I look at the formation of the bud. So like this one here, this is going to give you a new shoot. If I do down here, it's too far. So I will do this one here. I can cut in here or I can cut in here. But I will cut here, just like that. See that? Now, after you cut, make sure that you disinfect your pruner and also disinfect every cut. And the reason for that, you don't want the fungus. If you don't spray with alcohol or wipe with disinfectant, this new cut here turns black. So to avoid that black forming, you definitely spray with alcohol. All right, got that? So let's move on to the next clip. All right, tip number 5 is fertilization. Now, fertilizer has a lot of things to do with your roses. Now, here in my garden, in my previous years, I fertilized with this fertilizer rose stone. And after that, I switched. After another year, I started recently switching my fertilizer to ironite. So this is the ironite. I will link this product below this video. Just check it out, guys, if you need this fertilizer. This is awesome. I am not affiliated with the company, with this company, and hopefully in the next few years, because I use this product and the company will sponsor me. But I will share this product with you guys so you can use it and give it to your roses. This is very good ingredients. As you can see, it's 12 nitrogen and 10 phosphorus and phosphate. Now this is very good when you applied it in the spring, because in the spring your roses need a lot of nitrogen. So this is perfect. So there is a direction in here. Just follow the direction, guys. Don't give too much of the fertilizer higher than what is recommended, because you end up a dead plant. I have an experience in that a few of my plants died when I started using the ironite, because it was not really given in a proper amount. And I thought I did, but when I look at it again, and I made a mistake. Yeah, everyone, we always get a error, and we cannot be perfect. So we always make mistakes, and mistakes is a way to improve, to get a good thing or good result. So this is the 5 tips for growing roses to increase your roses bloom all summer long. All right, I'm going to show you for those of you who probably grow roses from grafted rose, and I'm going to show you what happened to my grafted rose. All right, so this is my grafted rose, guys. Oh, poor thing, it's dead. And this is the black rose. It's a beautiful rose. And the problem of the grafted rose, they only live 3 to 5 years, then after that they will die. And this is my other grafted rose. As you can see, this is supposed to be Kennedy. Look at that. It is supposed to be Kennedy. Oh my goodness, see that? It was a beautiful rose. But what happened at the end of the 5 years? It's gone. And leaving me with this Dr. Huey. So I did not cut this rose, because look at that. Even if it is just Dr. Huey, it's a beautiful rose. Look at that. Dr. Huey is a very strong rose. That's why this Kennedy or some other cultivar that are weaker rose, they save that by grafting or taking the scion and grafted to a different rose, especially rose that is stronger rootstock like the Dr. Huey. So this is mostly a rootstock that you graft roses. And I don't have Kennedy, it's gone. Here's another one here. There's another Dr. Huey. So I have quite a bit of Dr. Huey. This is supposed to be yellow rose, and I had beautiful grafted yellow rose, and this is what happened. And it's still beautiful. Look at that, it's still beautiful. And the problem of the grafted rose, you see this? This is the sucker. So it creates suckers instead of shoot. So that's why I recommend you guys to grow on root roses, because they have a long shelf life. They will last for decades, and you have a lot of years of enjoying the bloom. Now it is hard to get roses grown on root, because majority of the nurseries are grafted roses. But check on the online, and I will link the video. I have few roses here if you want my roses. I have few roses. One of my roses that I would I would sell online is the Strauss, and Strauss is heirloom roses. You don't see that Strauss anywhere or any places except my garden. So I will link all those products and also plants in this video, so check it out. All right, extra bonus for you guys. If you grow your roses in a container like what you see here, use a 5-gallon container or larger. depending what container you use. I would recommend to use a container that has a lot of drainage. And I get this container. This is not cheap container, probably $15 or $17, but it is worth it because as you see here, look at these holes around it. So my rose can take up a lot of oxygenation in here. You can see that, and that is a good thing. So make sure that your container has a lot of drainage for the water to drain out, and also can take up oxygenation. Now it is recommended that you need to rake or till the soil. Just use fork or any kind of tools to move around the soil, because you want that air surface to take an effect. You need that air that is trapped in the surface of the soil to move. So just play around with your roses. So that is the extra bonus. Now, not all people have wiki garden or sub-irrigated planter or installing irrigation. If you don't have those water irrigation, there is another way you can do it, like this bottle here. And you fill this bottle with water, and then on the tip of the lid you create few holes. Then after you create your pro holes, you invert that like that, and then put it in here in your rose, just close to the base of the plant, just like that. It's a little bit ugly, but you can bury it halfway, just like that. So your rose can take up a week of water, and it's also freeing you from watering your roses all the time. So that is an extra bonus for you guys. All right. Alright, so this is for today, guys, and I hope this video helped you. So to increase your blooming, what will you do? Select a rose that is healthy. It has to be on root. You can buy online or get that from the link I provide in this video. And also do deep trimming, cosmetics, and pruning. You prune your roses so it creates a new shoot and increases bloom. And fertilizer, I use the Ironite Plus, and it is really great in my roses. Look at that, it's blooming like crazy. Watering, make sure you install irrigation of your water. It's not only good for your roses, it is also good for you because you don't have to water all the time of your roses. I have a video on how to build your own sip garden. I would encourage you guys to watch that video. And also in the spring, I told you that you need to spray your roses because they are in the active growth and they're very healthy. So those insects or pests flying around, they said, "Oh, I have a good food in here. I need that food." So you just have to take care of your roses. So thank you for watching, guys. And if you are new here, start by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss any of our video every week. See you next time. Adios.